welcome to another amazing day at fmtraining.tv, where we're here to discuss the wonderful and fantastic Claris and FileMaker platforms. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today, and I'm here with the wonderful Nick Hunter, who is a senior engineer of ours. He is a really fantastic presenter and also covers a really wide variety of topics. Currently, and I shall conveniently bring up our live stream schedule as I talk about this, we are finishing up a mini-series with Nick, Build Document Management with OCR Automation and FileMaker Day 3. Tomorrow will be an open FileMaker Q&A with RC and Jacob Taylor, and then about servers based. If you have server questions, that tomorrow will be the day to show up. Monday will be a Monkey Bread plugin spotlight, FileMaker Monkey Bread plugin spotlight SFTP. Should be cool. And then Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday will be the start of Nick's next series, mini-series, Existing FileMaker File Design and Modernization Workshop, Day 1, Day 2, Day 3. Basically, send us a file, and Nick will review it live, and also set improvements live if you've got things like, oh, I'm trying to do this and I can't do this. Or basically it's like, hey, what does this file look like? Does this look acceptable to you? Nick will look at it live and inspect it live and improve it live, and we send it back. The goal is not to mock the people who are sending us files. The goal is to help them and also help people who are like, oh, I make these same mistakes all the time, and how you can fix that. We currently have a couple files sent to us, but I think we've had one or two, maybe three. But we could always use more because this can kind of be an infinite running series. People are interested enough in it. If you're interested, you will get the file back when we're done. Please send a file to support@rcconsulting.com, and I will forward it on to Nick. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello. So thank you, Matt, for the introduction. Thank you, everybody, for joining today. So today, I will have a little extension until maybe, 2:15, 2:20, because I want to finish all of this, right? So, so today we do the final day of this document management with OCR, and so I finally build what I want to build, right? And I want to thank my customer that is pretty much paying for that. So, but it's cool. Okay, so so yesterday I was demonstrating something that wasn't cooked enough, right? And I needed to switch from one methodology to another, right? So in FileMaker, in every type of development, you have the same problem, right? So you try something and it doesn't work, right? So don't try to fix a technique when it doesn't work. Try another technique, right? So, and with FileMaker, it's not a software different than other when we deal with data. So let me explain. Let me talk, a story. You guys, all of you guys, all my audience, all the world, we are all Google employees, and we don't even know, right? Why? It's because they need the human brain and the human eye to enrich their database, right? To make sure that their engine is making less and less and less and less mistakes. So Google bought reCAPTCHA. You know the reCAPTCHA? The reCAPTCHA is when you want to authentify yourself. They want to make sure you're human. They ask you, okay, select the traffic light. So you have a picture, you have a chest like this, and so select the traffic light. So you select the traffic light, select the hill, select the tractor, select the crosswalk, select the cars, select the bus, right? So why this? Why this? Why they ask you all of those road-related images? Because Google is working on the autonomous cars, okay? They're working actively on this. I have many friends working on this field. So, and they want you guys, and me, everybody, to use our brain to help them identify cars, crosswalks, hills, traffic lights, to identify those things better So they show you an image, and you say, okay, this is, this is a traffic light. And then they do what we call the machine learning. Okay, so machine learning is this. You use your brain, the human brain, to enrich a database, right? To make less and less and less mistake. So I use exactly the same technique here that Google is doing. Learn from the mistake. My brain, human brain, to enrich the database to say, okay, hey, this is this, and this is this, right? So I did exactly the same thing. Okay. So first, let's share my screen right quick. So that was important because what the technique I'm using, I swear, is the same as Google is doing. The same technique. So I was using one technique yesterday that failed big league, in front of your eyes, right? Failed completely. I wanted to use a traditional, simplistic, multi-value relationship keys to try to recognize things, and it doesn't work because FileMaker couldn't do the differences between multiple records, and it was getting me always the same record because that was the first coming, right? So matching, so it wasn't going to the next one. So I use another technique, right? The machine learning technique, right? So what do we want to achieve here? We want to achieve this. So imagine you receive, I don't know, 2,000 documents. Yeah, 2,000 documents. And you need to attach this document to all of these, and you need to identify which type of document it is. So you have a folder with 1,000 documents, 2,000 documents. You have no idea what it is. They name like with numbers. So with the name, we cannot rely on names. We cannot rely on anything. So but I want to identify those documents. So what we want to do is this. Import a folder in FileMaker. I don't know what we have, so I'm importing those documents into a container, right? And then we have the magic of FileMaker, right? Doing all the job for us, right? Doing everything for us. And we don't even have to wait for it. So I'm importing my document. So the document imported, done. And this is a 9 document. And immediately I have this status here showing, right? Immediately the server is working for me. So this is the server status. Today, the script and what it's doing, okay? So yeah, I have a bug here, but that's okay. The server is currently running OCR. And here for each record, on each record, when it's running OCR, you have a status cell running OCR. So I know it's running on this one, it's running on this one, and then on this one, and then on this one. So he's doing all of this, okay? So I have the status coming back from the server to tell me what it's doing currently. So I have a server status here, right? And this, and when everything's done, right? When it's done, so, okay, it's not done yet. I know because I still have the server status here, right? And when it's done, this will go away, okay? That means the server is done, right? So let's give a chance. I had some problem to get this over. Okay. So now I am done. And as you can see, all my documents are connected, related to different tables. And I have the document type that I couldn't give yesterday. So this is an initial value notice. This is a CAD evidence, and this is an exception letter, right? So we have all the documents related in And I didn't have to wait for it because the server has done everything for me, right? And I got the return and stuff like that. Believe it or not, it's not at all complicated to do that. But you need to use the right technique for this. So yesterday I was showing how the relationship is doing all the work. All of this is done by the relationship. I don't do any perform find. No, I'm doing nothing. It's relationship and auto entry calculation. So let's decipher. First, here, I'm getting this version of this. So this is what I'm getting. This is the document. This is the entire document I'm receiving after OCR. After OCR, this is what I'm getting, right? This is what I'm getting. And pure text, right? We have pure text here. So, and this is what I get. I have an auto entry calculation that says, okay, do this. The while that I showed yesterday, and it's going through all the documents and is giving me the result. Okay. So, but I've demonstrated that yesterday, so I don't want to come back there. Then I have two other fields, right? Because I want to treat differently the information. First, I need to have this one, which is pretty much taking the one that shows all, and get it like this, right? So every word, every space is replaced by a Claris return, right? This is what I get. I need this version. And then I need another version, let me display it. I need another version. So that's the all. So let's put that here. That's the all. I can put a little bit smaller. That's the Claris return. And I have the only numbers. Okay. So I have three versions of this. I have the all. Based on the all, I said, remove the blanks and show me word by words, and then show me only the numbers, right? So how we can do this? To strip out all letters and keep, and we need to keep the Claris return, right? Otherwise you get one string, right? I'm going to show you this. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing this, so I have this link or, right? First I said, substitute on this all the blanks by Claris return. So that's easy. And the other one is a little bit tricky. Okay. Tricky. I want to filter this. I want to filter this. And I want only numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. But if I do this, this is what I get. Doesn't work. So I want to filter the Claris return. So that means I want all the 1, the 2, the 3, the 0, and the Claris returns, right? If I don't add the Claris return, I have this, Claris returns. And then I have only the numbers the way I want them to be. right? And I couldn't even do something better. I just realized right now that we can do a substitute, of this field, right? And I want to replace the blanks. So pretty much, yeah, I don't need that because I have it. I can do the filter on the coverage return because I have the field and do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0 coverage return. And this is even cleaner, right? So I'm going to do that on my field because it's cleaner, right? So let me, the numbers, it's even cleaner. So that's why it's good to have multiple field like this. Don't do that in one field. You have 1, 2, 3. I need those two. I need the 3 independently anyway, because I'm going to rely on this, right? So do we have any questions so far?
Nope. So you're good to keep going.
Okay. So now, I want to connect two numbers, but we have a problem. So this is where the machine learning is involved. We have a problem. Sometimes the number here comes with dashes, right? So I don't know if I have one with dashes here. If John will, okay, here, no. Yeah, I think it's this. We have dashes, right? On the, no, this is not this. Sometimes we have dashes. I don't know if I have one with dashes. Yeah, here. We have dashes, right? So this won't work. No, it's not this one. Yeah, John, come to my head and help me there. But anyway, sometimes we have dashes here. Now we don't. It's not this one. Okay, never mind. Sometimes we have dashes, sometimes we don't. So when we have dashes, I cannot recognize what's the name? The record. I cannot recognize the file. Why? Because in the database, we don't have dashes. We have the same number without dashes, right? But I need to recognize it. And yesterday I showed you how it works. That means here, how I could recognize this number here automatically, right? Because here I have it somewhere, right? Here. So this FileMaker will say, this is a value on my parent key. All of those will be used. But in this one, I have one matching, all of those. So the relationship says, yes, I have one matching on my database. So this is it. This is the number, right? You go there, use the relationship, right? And you can see that with this relationship, based on that primary key and the parcel number on the other side, right? That is the confirmation that this parcel number, this number here, and these documents here belongs to that parcel, because in the text, I have that number which is unique, right? There's no way we can have two parcels with the same number. Okay. So, and that is the confirmation that, yes, based on all those values I have in this field, okay, on the other side, one of them matches and is this one. So I can say, yeah, the parcel number throughout this relationship for that document I just scanned, it is this number, right? So that's the first technique. But then we have another problem. When we have dashes, when we have dashes. So let's simulate it because I don't have one with dashes. So pretty much if I have dashes like this, right? Let's simulate it. I have dashes, right? But on my computer, on my database, the parcel ID, I don't have dashes. So I want to remove the dashes and collect all the numbers and see if I have something matching. So I have this version where I have the same number without dashes because I'm filtering. So thanks to this now, right, I can connect also when I have dashes. And then I have a very simplistic calculation that said this on the parcel, right? I said, so I went to multiple phases, see? I went to multiple phases. So, and I keep track of what I was doing. And when you get to the point where everything is much simpler, right? You know you're on the right track. So here pretty much I say, okay, is there this one? So I'm collecting two. If I have one here, more likely I will have it here, right? So I say, okay, get me the value, the first value you find on those two. That's the one I want. Because if this one fails, return 0 or return nothing, this one will work. So I'm getting a list, right? So pretty much this technique here is a good technique. Let me show you this technique here. Let's say you want to test something, you want to test, but when you want to test on two things, right? I want to test on this. I want to test on Nick, and I want to test on Marge. Right? But if the first fail, I get Marge. Right? So that's what I want. I want, if the first fail, give me the second one. Because if the first doesn't fail, the other one will return the same. So you understand? So this is a good technique when you want to say, hey, right? And that works for many values, right? So let's say this, okay, you have this one, right? So you say Rick and Scott, right? So, and you say, okay, the first failed, give me the second one. If the second one failed, this one, give me the third one. If the third one failed, give me the last one. If all fail, you have nothing, right? So you know what I mean? So that prevent the if and cases and if, we don't need that. You get the first value, and I could have done, I could have done the left value, but it's the same, the get value is okay. Get value works too. So the left value, get value is the same. So you understand how this works. So this is a good technique when you want to eliminate the first, the second, the third, right? The first that works serves on the list. The first that worked. So that, can you imagine how many cases? Case, if not empty this, if not empty this, case, not empty. Why? We don't need. You take the list, and the first fail, the second, third, and you get always the first coming, right? Even though the second one, even though those doesn't fail, you don't care. You want the next that doesn't fail. If this one failed, you want this one. If this one failed, you want this one. If this one failed, this one. You understand? So that's a good technique. Okay. So now everything good, right? Everything perfect. But how I can recognize these documents, right? So we did the machine learning technique. We did reCAPTCHA. We did Google. The same. Use the human eye to identify the record, the file. Okay? So let's go and see how this works. And thanks to the so far, the relationship is giving me everything I need, right? Thanks to the relationship, I can dig on this one and pick up the ID I want. So now, so here, I said, right? I have my own type of documents, right? I have my own type of documents. That's my own, okay? And I want when it's an evidence, a CAD evidence, okay? This is my machine learning. So the OCR is going to give me a text here. And all of those are values. FileMaker will get that as a value, right? So how I can recognize this? So this is an initial value. This is this, right? So here I said, but I have different type of text that could be an initial value. I have different type of documents, phrased differently depending on where it's coming from. So we do the machine learning and we say, okay, if it says 2020 notice of appraised value, 2021, 2022, 2023, 4, 5, and in the future we will go until we can go until 26, right? We can add in the future because that won't change. It's always been like this, right? So when I see one of those, right, if this or this, one of those or one of this, notice of appraised value. When he said this, notice of appraised value. The relationship will say, okay, this is all the values I have, and inside these documents, which this phrase will never come if it's not this type of documents. Okay, we're sure on this, right? So FileMaker says, okay, FileMaker, I have a primary key where you said you dump a big league of things, and here I have a foreign key where also you have a bunch of things. But it's okay. I'm FileMaker. I'm not a dumb SQL. I know what to do with this. In your garbage here, I have one that matches the other garbage here, right? That you put there, right? So this is matching this. So more likely, FileMaker user, you want me to connect those two records, and this is the initial value, right? So here, another CAD evidence. So the CAD evidence, right? We did exactly the same thing. So we have appraisal, so 2022 appraisal evidence summary, right? Or something else. So here, or we have property, okay. So you can say property ID and legal description. property ID and legal description. So FileMaker will say, yes, I got something out of your garbage, right? Out of all of this, I have one value that matches your foreign key here, and this one match this. But sometime, the machine learning, the reCAPTCHA, sometime, okay, I need your eye, I need your human eye, because the OCR is missing the eye. We realize this, right? And we say, okay, you know what? We humans are smarter than these stupid machines. Okay? Okay, you stupid enough to skip the eye. It's okay, I'm forgiving you. Because I'm putting another version of the same sentences without the eye. And that's it. Machine learning. So if I have the eye, it will connect the dots. If I don't have the eye, it will connect the dots. And if in the future, I see I don't have the eye, and here he put a 3. Sometimes it happens. Let's say I have this eventuality, and we do the reCAPTCHA, right? We do the Google, the same thing. So I copy this, and I say, yeah, stupid OCR, it's not giving me the thing right. So I'm learning, right? And now it's connecting the dots. It tells me the CAD evidence. Before, it couldn't have told me because I didn't have this version of this. So, here, if I remove this one, if I go there, it says, I don't know. Here, I don't know. I have no idea what that is because I don't have the property D and the L3 gal description. I don't have this. Okay, so look this. I put this here. I add this. And look this. Boom. Okay, it's an evidence now. I understand. I'm learning. I'm learning, right? So, and this you do for all the documents, right? For the exception letter. Exception letter, okay? The same thing. The same thing. Here, I have this, right? I have exemption letter somewhere. Exemptions, okay. Exemption center. If I have in the text exemption center, that is an exemption letter. So I'm learning. And so far, I didn't have any failures, right? So sometime it can say this, sometime it can say this, right? And see, tomorrow is missing the R because, I don't know, it's missing something, If tomorrow is doing this, right? So now there's no way it can recognize that document. I don't know. But if I go there and I'm putting a new version of this, and so I'm learning, stupid OCR, I'm learning, don't worry. And I'm going there, now it's connected. Because I'm enriching my database. And again, all of this works because of the relationship. If you try to do this with a loop and find and constrain, it's impossible. It's that simple, right? So the relationship, the multi-value relationship, the multi-value key, and that works on both sides. That works on both sides of the relationship. You can have a field with multiple values on the parent key, right? And then you can have, which is Z, the Z, okay, this one, right? Multi-value key here, multi-value key here, and that works. There's no problem, right? So do we have any question on this?
Yes. Couldn't you remove the lines with no data? It should be easy to do.
What? Can we move the dots?
Can you remove the lines with no data?
Move the line with no data. What that means? Move the line with no data. Don't understand. Oh, you mean this?
Yeah, I think that's what he's referring to.
No, not necessary. Not necessary. It won't help anything. We can, but it's the pain, because I cannot, I need to replace, I need to do two substitute on this, and I have no, I have no, um, I have no benefits. Not really. It won't help anything to do that. It's because I need to do a substitute on that scale numbers, and then say I'm searching those two replaced by this, and it doesn't, and then I need to do another one. Yeah, it's here I would have done a while. I don't know. It doesn't help because I'm not going to read those things. The goal is to press a button and that's it. It's it won't speed up anything here, but we can if we we can. So, other question?
How do you handle documents? Example, a letter that references another document. Example, an exemption notice. For example, we sent you an exemption notice on 1/1/2023.
Yeah, but the tax year is here. I don't care about the tax year. The tax year, at one point we were going to read it because that's the same, based on the same principle, right? Based on the same principle, I will do that, right? For example, we can do it right now if you want. Here I will have I have this, right? I have this. So year 2022. When he said this, or he might say tax year 2022, but he will do the same. So on the other side, right? On the other side, I'm going to build something like this. On the foreign key, I will do like this. I will do the key will be tax and year gets current date. Okay. So the text here returns. Oh, the text here returns this here. Tax, where's year? No, year. Okay, so the text returned this. So let's copy this. No. He said year this. So my foreign key will be this, right? My foreign key will be a calculation. And each time, right? I can even, let's do a test if we want, right? So let's say I'm going to build a table, and I want to connect the tax year, like this, okay. So I'm going to create one test. Remove this piece of garbage. And foreign key, okay, foreign create, right? And that is this, for example, right? So I have this on this, right? And then, I'm going to connect the dots automatically. So it's the same principle. So sometime, let's say like this. Okay. Yeah, when I do zoom, it's super duper slow. So when you connect the dots, because I have the year semicolon, right? I have everything. So now, oh, I shouldn't have done this. So now I want to connect to my new table, to this one. I'm going to connect this to this. So I'm going to connect this here, the path array or with a foreign key on test. Okay. So, I need to add a new field here. It's okay. I will add it. So there's no problem on matching multiple, right? So I can do the demonstration if you want. So I need to add a field here in the test in the test table. It's okay. We have time. So the test table, I'm going to add a field here. Okay. So a document type, right? And I don't know, our owner. Okay. So I have fields here, right? So I have my foreign key. So I will show you two different, right, connection possible, okay? So so now I'm connecting the dots like this. So if I'm going to the test layout, right? And I'm going to add here field. So I'm going to add record, right? So new record, tax 23, document type or exceptions, for example, exemption letter, okay? And the owner is Nick, okay? And then I have a new record, but I'm changing your, say, okay, 2021, okay? It's an exception, so it's the same as here, right? And it's mod, the owner, okay? So I have two the same, right? So here, I'm putting 22 for my demonstration. So now I want to know which one this document belongs to, right? Right? So I use the relationship and I'm going to call the relationship, right? It's a test. Who is the owner is Nick. The owner of that file is Nick. It's not Marge. It's Nick, right? So now, let's say I have two types of documents, right? So I have an exception letter, right? On this year, this is 22, okay. And this is our initial notice, okay? So here I have two like this, right? But let's say this one, to recognize it, this one, it's exception letter. So I have this. This is what I need to know on the key, right? To connect the dots, right? And here is what I need to know on the document to connect the dots, for example, right? So I need, which one is this? This one. right? This one is connected to this. So I have two 22. I have this one and this one, right? So now, look this. Thanks to this, I have two keys. So I'm relying on two things on the document, right? Right. But I need to make sure that I have my machine learning working fine, because here, the tax year, right? The tax year here, I need to find out where the tax year, I'm not even sure I have it, right? Quick ID, where do you see the tax? It's not on this one. We don't have on this one, because this one is something that they generate, you know, we don't have the tax here on this one. But let's simulate we have it, okay? Here, let's simulate we have it, 2022. Let's simulate it, okay? So now, in this table, we have, so let's present as a table. We have 3 records, 2 on 22, Nick, Rick. So let's put Scott here, okay? But they're 2 types different. So which one belongs to which, right? So now we have, we can ask this belong to Nick, is 22, and this one belongs to Nick too, because yeah, exception center, because they're the same. Oh, no, sorry. This belongs to what's the name of the relationship I use here? Test, right? But anyway, this has become a little, I know it's possible because I'm using it, but yeah, test, foreign key, pass line, foreign key. Oh, yeah, but I need 2. I need 2, right? I need 2. Okay, here we have multi-value here and multi-predicate relationship. So this, yeah, you need to be like a serious FileMaker developer to understand that, right? So now it will make the difference, because I didn't have the document type. So now it will make the difference here. So this is to Nick, and this is to Scott. You understand? Because now I'm relying on two fields, on 2 keys, right? But everything coming from one parent key where you have everything there, right? So the relationship in FileMaker is what you have the most powerful that could exist, right? Because all of this, try to do that without relationship. Try, good luck. I wish you luck, And try with SQL. Yeah, try, be my guest, try with SQL. When you come with a 2 billion line script, you will come back with something that will work maybe 20% of the time, right? When we FileMaker, boom, bam, bim, works. And thanks to the technique, so the technique I'm using here is not a FileMaker technique. It's a database, computer database technique, used from the beginning of the times, right? So it's a machine learning. There's nothing wrong with this. Machine can fail. We don't. So we tell him, say, hey, he's missing the I. So, and everything is based like this, right? Everything is based like this. So, questions?
Why is it not generating a UUID to relate to other tables?
Why you want to generate a UUID? Don't understand. How you know the ID? The goal here is to say, okay, I have a text here. I don't have ID. So why you want to generate a UUID? I don't have. I have this, and I have this. I don't have UUIDs. So, and then thanks to this, I'm taking the ID of what I need. For example, my document exception letter, no, it's not a name. I show the name, but my document here is this. I'm taking the ID of the type, right? Yeah, I'm collecting the ID. I'm collecting the county ID. I'm collecting the contact ID. I'm collecting the company ID. I'm collecting all the site ID. I'm collecting the parcel ID. I'm collecting all the IDs, all of them. I'm not relying. I use the names. I use the text to recognize which record is which. This and this, right, tells me that this is one type of documents. And then I'm saying, okay, no problem. Set the field, document type with the ID of the document type. Of course, I'm not relying on names. But to get the ID, I need something to, to learn. I need something to, to recognize, to get the ID. Okay, to get the name written on the bus, you need to know how to recognize the bus, right? If I tell you, tell me what's written on the bus, but you don't know what the bus is, how you can know? How you know where to look for, right? Where to look at? You can't. So here I say, okay, this and this is the bus. Tell me what is written on the bus. And then, okay, I collect all the ID I want. But here I want to do the demonstration you asked me on the two. I have two here same, but here two different. And FileMaker is capable of saying, okay, I have this, yes, I have this on two records, but I have only one record with this. Right? Nice. The relationship, look, you can do whatever you want, but so do we have another question?
No. So you're good to keep going.
Okay. So of course you can use that technique for many things. Okay. This machine learning thingy. Okay. This multiple multi-value relationship key on both sides, parent and foreign, right? That you can connect the dot together. So the relationship is extremely, extremely powerful. It's you can't even imagine what you can do there. And even my customer, my customer is watching me, every day working on his file. He's watching me on Zoom. We can do that, right? So all what I'm doing here is like a coaching, and the guy is watching what I'm doing, and he's with me, right? So he said, it's incredible all what you do, right, on the relationship. You always go to the because the relationship is doing all the job for me. I don't have perform fine, constraint, I don't. Where you see a perform fine here, right? Oh, go to red record, go to red record, go to red record, because I don't care, I don't want to do things, the import documents. So this happened on server, right? Do you see one perform fine here? One constraint, one no, right? And then, so I'm doing my OCR, right? On each one, loop, OCR, 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 OCR. When I'm done, I replace the company ID, the contact ID, the parcel ID, the ID with all the thing I need, right? So it's well compartmented, right? So, and that's why it's fast, and that's why it works, because I'm doing the OCR on one side. This is the OCR. Boom. We saw that yesterday, right? So this is the OCR. I'm going there. I'm setting all my stuff. I'm insert from URL. And then I'm going to the next one, right? So everything is doing automatic. So now, if we don't have any question on this, so first I need a question. Who is interested by this technique of what's the name? Connecting dots like this, right? So machine learning, and who didn't know about that? Who knew about that in the
People are
audience?
typing.
Huh?
Oh, people are typing. But also
Okay.
there was a quick question. You made some interface for a customer to enter machine learning, or do you have to do it manually?
Okay, so good question, because that's the next step. I'm going to make, for sure, I'm going to make something, because I have, for example, to connect the dots, the machine learning stuff. Now it's manually, okay, because it's just fresh. I just finished it. I finished it an hour before starting the webinar, right? And I told my customer, I say, okay, John, I need to get that done by 1 p.m., right? I need that, right? And so here I have this UI here, you know. So this is all my document type, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to say, okay, when you see that, right? When you see that, I'm going to press a button, press a button, and say, okay, it will select this, right? Select the piece of text you have, right? And or I'm just going to do a copy, right? And then a button that says, okay, select this, which type, where you want to add it, click add, right? So, if I had a little bit more time, I would have done that in front of you guys. But, yeah, of course, I'm going to have this, because I have the text here. So I put the text here. You have the text result here. And here, because I'm referring this, but, we have here in multiple pages. Okay? So I will say, yeah, when you see this, or when you see this, or when you see the whatever this, copy this text, copy this, and I will have a button add to the machine learning, boom, and select which document type is this, okay, boom, and add it, and add to my machine learning. So I will add add a record here, add a line here, put that here, right? That will be the next step. Yeah, of course I will have a UI, because it will be easy, because sometimes we realize that sometimes the OCR fails, right? So we need to, do that. So next question.
I have an idea to have it OCR and parse documents to fill out certain tables.
Yeah, I mean, can you imagine? Okay, before my customer had an employee select all the document in a folder, opening them, all of them, go to FileMaker, create a new record, and type this number, type the address, type the name for 2,000 documents every week. So now you press this button and everything comes, right? So don't tell me this is not something huge, right? Right? It's huge, right? And the OCR is we couldn't use a scribe or stuff like this, because sometimes documents comes from different sources, and you cannot extract text like with the scribe plugin technique. You need to OCR it. Okay, so that's why we say, okay, we don't want to identify which one we can, which one we cannot. We just OCR it, and that's it, right? And now we have a searchable. It's searchable, right? We have a searchable PDF that we can find anything in this. So if we don't have another question, I want to finish something here. You notice that here I have a plus, 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 plus. So what that means? Okay. That means that document is a duplicate. And how we know that? By the name? No. We cannot rely on names. Because even if I put document, I have a V1 here, right? This one, this is named V1, right? Or I can have a, which one? Car dividend Montgomery V1, okay? This one. So if I'm adding this one, new, and I'm dragging this one again, it said duplicates. If I new documents and I duplicate that doc, so now it says copy, right? Put there, it said duplicates. So how we do that? Okay. We rely on something called cryptographic hash function MD5. So we rely on this, right? So what is this? It's a tag generated that we generate by documents. It's an algorithm, okay, that will analyze the document itself and come with a unique tag, unique, okay, for each document. Each time you will get that document, rename, not rename, if it's the same document, you will get exactly the same MD5 message digest algorithm, the hash, right? FileMaker do that, and I have it here. So how we get this, right? So we get this from, where's the MD5? Here. So FileMaker generate this with this. The get container attributes on the container, and you get MD5 number, the hash. Okay, this. So now it's easy. All of those are duplicates. That was the original put there, right? Because I don't have the tag. That was the first. So you get the tag when you add another one, because the tag says the first one, right? The first one don't have a tag because it doesn't exist, right? So the tag says it's very simple. The tag duplicates here. It says get a Boolean if I have a relationship with the MD5. If I have another one, put me a 1 here. Tag it. If I have another one. So the first will say no. The first will say, oh, I don't have it. But the second, the third, the fourth will say, yeah, I have it. Got it? Got a point? So this is how we do the duplication. And this is how Apple is doing, oh, find the duplicate photos, find the duplicate whatever, right? This is how they do. They use that, right? So I don't know if you knew that, but when you want to know what the duplication, right, of a document, this is what you do. You use the MD5 hash. And if we don't have any question on this, we're good to go.
One quick last question. File size attribute, question mark.
Oh, yeah, file size. Good question. Thank you. I forgot to mention it. The file size attribute, I have it. But it's a piece of garbage, like many of what FileMaker is doing. So, because it's, yeah, I have the file size here. Oh, thank you, FileMaker. So what is this? I have no idea, you know. So what is this? What the size of the file? I want to know. Right quick, right? What the size on this one? Well, you know, you know, what the size on this one, what it is. So thank for you. You have a guy named Nick Hunter that worked for you, right? And I took the opportunity to be at FileMaker when I was working there, and they give me the conversion. So this is 272 kilobytes, and this is a real real size, right? So then, thanks to this, I can even give you the size of the database. This is the size of the database, right? Correct? So, because that the converted, okay? So, what the conversion? I have a custom function. You have it under FMSP, and you have it. I call it file conversion or convert or whatever. No, byte. No, I don't remember. Huh? Byte size. Yeah, byte. Because they give you in bytes. FileMaker give you bytes. Okay. So you need to convert bytes into something else. And this is the conversion. And this is a real, because divided by 1,000, divided by 10,000, this is not the real stuff. That's the real stuff, right? So I was at FileMaker, I asked an engineer, and he said, okay, this is how we do, right? So to the kilobyte, you take whatever this and you divide by 1024, right? For the megabytes, by this, the gigabyte by this, and the terabyte by this, right? And then you have a case here that says the file is inferior to this, this is bytes. If it's inferior to this, this is kilobytes. If inferior to this is megabyte. And, I'm giving you KB, MB, GB, TB, right? So this is real, like the boss said, the boss said, this is real. This is not fake. So this is how you do the size here, because this is readable by a human, right? The other one is not. So I'm getting pretty much, I'm getting plenty of stuff here. I'm getting the file extension, which I'm doing my own stuff, to make sure, right? So I'm taking the file name. I'm counting how many dots I have. The start position is the first I found, Okay. So I have what's the name? The file type. I have this. So the attribute is the GetContainerAttribute, and it's on all, right? I'm taking all the attributes, and then I'm calculating which one, I'm doing which one is because FileMaker, it's not smart for that. It's really complicated. So to know if it's a PDF are images, right? But sometimes you can have an Excel file, stuff like that. So I have a file here, right? And so file type, you say, okay, I want the file. Okay, which one is the file? So those are files. See, files. Yeah, they're all files because I didn't insert them correctly, but it's okay. You got the point here. So, other question?
What happens if the same document is scanned by another user?
Oh, that will be a different MD5, right? But thanks to the OCR, you can say, hey, I already have, those are not OCR. I already have, what's the name? Because it's a photo. I already have this parcel number, right? You can say that, right? So you scan it, you recognize the number, the parcel number, or whatever number you need, and you say, oh, I already have it. You can, of course, that the OCR can do that. You can do pretty much what you want now that you have this technique of OCR and the technique of the multi-value relationship. You can say, okay, test this and this, test with itself. test with itself. It will, you know, it will give you, of course, yeah, that's a good idea, by the way, to recognize the same type, the same number, the same year, right? We can, in that case, oh, we have twice, right? So, that being said, like you say,
I think we're good.
okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I hope you appreciate that. So see you next week.
Yes.
And have a great weekend.
Everybody. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Got a report of an individual up here who may be a FileMaker license. Well, it's potentially expired. Look at the back of that car right there. Looks like the FileMaker license has expired. Sir, I need you to step out of the vehicle. Sir, step out of the vehicle. Sir.